Hello everyone, welcome to this series on critical approaches in literature. And in this video, we are going to discuss mythological and archetypal approach and concentrate on motifs, patterns, and genres in literature. Introduction. Archetypes are universal symbols, motifs, or patterns found across various cultures and literary traditions. These elements are deeply ingrained in the human psyche and appear repeatedly in myths, legends, and literature. This video explores some fundamental archetypal motifs such as creation, immortality, and hero archetypes, and discusses how these archetypes also manifest in different literary genres as theorized by Northrop Frye. Archetypal motifs or patterns. Creation. One of the most fundamental archetypal motifs is creation. Virtually every mythology includes an account of how the cosmos, nature, and humankind were brought into existence by a supernatural being or beings. These creation stories often set the stage for understanding the world and humanity's place within it. For instance, the creation narrative in Genesis describes how God created the world in 6 days, providing a foundational myth for Judeo-Christian traditions. Immortality. Immortality is another central archetype that generally takes one of two basic narrative forms: escape from time. This narrative involves a return to paradise, a state of perfect, timeless bliss enjoyed by man and woman before their tragic fall into corruption and mortality. This archetype can be seen in stories like the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve live in eternal peace before their expulsion, mystical submersion into cyclical time. This theme revolves around endless death and regression, where human beings achieve a kind of immortality by submitting to the vast, mysterious rhythm of nature's eternal cycle, particularly the cycle of the seasons. This is evident in many mythologies where gods die and are reborn, symbolizing the perpetual cycle of life and death. Hero archetypes. Hero archetypes, which symbolize transformation and redemption, are another significant motif. These archetypes often involve the following themes. The quest. The hero undertakes a long journey during which they must perform impossible tasks, battle monsters, solve unanswerable riddles, and overcome insurmountable obstacles to save the kingdom. This archetype is prevalent in stories like Homer's Odyssey, where Odysseus embarks on a perilous journey to return home. Initiation. The hero undergoes a series of excruciating ordeals, moving from ignorance and immaturity to social and spiritual adulthood, thereby achieving maturity and becoming a full-fledged member of their social group. This initiation often consists of 3 distinct phases: separation, transformation, and return. A classic example is the story of King Arthur, who must prove himself worthy of his throne. The sacrificial scapegoat. In this motif, the hero, with whom the welfare of the tribe or nation is identified, must die to atone for the people's sins and restore the land to fruitfulness. This can be seen in the story of Jesus Christ, who sacrificed himself for humanity's salvation. Archetypes as genres. Archetypes do not only appear as images and motifs, but also in more complex combinations as genres or types of literature. Northrop Frye, in his Anatomy of Criticism, identifies the correspondence between these archetypal patterns and the major phases of the seasonal cycle, correlating them with specific genres. The mythos of spring. Comedy. Comedies often involve themes of rebirth and renewal, akin to the rejuvenation associated with spring. They typically end in celebrations and marriages, symbolizing new beginnings. The mythos of summer, romance. Romances reflect the flourishing and fullness of summer. They often involve idealized heroes and adventures, emphasizing growth, fulfillment, and the triumph of good over evil. The mythos of fall, tragedy. Tragedies align with the decline and decay of autumn. They depict the downfall of heroes and the inevitable consequences of human flaws, often leading to catharsis. The mythos of winter, irony. Ironies correspond to the desolation and barrenness of winter. They often present a cynical view of life, highlighting human folly and the absurdity of existence. Conclusion. Northrop Frye's identification of these mythoi with literature asserts that myth is a structural organizing principle of literary form. He argues that an archetype is essentially an element of one's literary experience and that mythology provides a blueprint of what literature as a whole is about. By examining these archetypal motifs and their manifestations in different genres, we gain a deeper understanding of the universal themes that permeate human storytelling and reflect our shared cultural heritage. So this was the third part of mythological and archetypal criticism. We will meet in the next video and discuss its next part. Until then, goodbye and thank you.